darkness once again. Aren't you enjoying this? Don't you like it? Well, you know, I have been kind of watching a lot of things, and I find it completely boring. And I find it completely how all of these supposed people that are literally like full trained dogs. You tell them to sit, and they sit. You tell them to stay, and they stay. You tell them to beg, and they beg. You tell them to come to you, they come to you. You tell them to do a little dance, they do a little dance. How pathetic is that, to not have a mind of your own? How pathetic is that, to not have a system of your own, not even owning yourself or anybody else, because you are completely out of control, right? I want to give you a little bit of an example of, well, just a little something, little example. For instance, look around at all these humans, all these people that are around there. They're running around like a bunch of insects, running around, chasing each other, trying to clip each other's wings off, clip each other's little feelers off, clip each other's arms and legs, usual, tear apart. But the rule stands correct that I probably said this about a week ago. Do you remember what I said? You just watch. You just watch. Once all the hubbub comes down, once everything chills, the rats and mice will eat each other. And sure enough, that's what happened. Oh, you think I'm gay, but yet you're the only guy in the chat. I'm sitting here doing my thing, but you come in here and drop that comment. So who's the gay person now? Who's the sad, pathetic person now? Me or you? Obviously you, because you are desperate for attention, desperate for a view, desperate to get noticed, because you are a sad, pathetic, little, tiny, little man who has nothing to say for themselves, nothing to do for themselves, except make those type of comments. Oh, I see. You're talking about my mom now, right? Do you know my mom personally? Because, I know yours, but you obviously don't know mine. I never really had a mother, so I don't know what you're talking about. And what do you call yourself? Extended official? What are you extended of? What are you actually an extension of? What? You're the chat that time forgot? I mean, what is your forte? What is your business card on this? What's your calling card on this? Because I see it's absolutely nothing. But then again, who am I to criticize? I'm about the same way. So, you know what? I guess it would be insulting for me to say to you that you are exactly a mirror spitting image of me. That's what kind of gets to you. That's what kind of gets underneath your skin. Because you can't see the sight of your own reflection, and you can't hear the reverberation of your own voice, because your voice is sad, pathetic, and useless because you never use it correctly. Am I right? Am I right? And don't forget, big boy, you came here. I didn't go there. You came over here and decided to try and get to me. But no, I flipped it on you and literally triggered you so bad that I drove you right out of this chat. So who's the loser? Who's the gay? Who's the mom abuser now? Not me. I'm sitting right here. I literally destroyed the both of you with 4 to 5 sentences, when I can easily just quiet you with one single syllable. Loser. Now watch you go crazy when I say that. Because I know how people work. I know how people act. I know their mindset. Their mindset is very prideful, very insecure, very almost, I should say, almost as psychotic as I am. I just do it a little bit more precise. Kind of like, kind of like a surgeon about ready to cut open a body. You've got to be precise. You've got to understand what you're looking at. You've got to understand who you're talking to before you open that big fat trap, right? So next time you come into my chat and say those things that you said to me, you might want to just be careful on what type of snake you step on. Because this is a snake that bites. And I don't bite easy, I bite hard, and I bite long. And I don't give up. So, in saying that, I believe that silences the doubters, don't you think? I believe that silences the people that want to, persecute me, ridicule me. What? For being free, for being who I am, for being exactly the very spitting image of what you want to be, but you don't have the guts to do it. That's the sad thing about society these days. They always want to be cowards and hide behind troll accounts and hide behind fake accounts, sock accounts, yada, 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 yada. But they do not want to show their true form. Me, I show it daily. I show it right in front of you. I show it openly because I have got nothing to hide. I've got nothing to prove. I don't need anybody for validation. I don't need anybody for attention. Do you think I go around looking for attention? Do you think I go around looking to start stuff? No, I don't, because I'm not like you, and I never will be. I am me. I am darkness. Darkness is everywhere, whether you believe it or not. It's inside your head. It's inside your mirror. It's inside your house. Every time you shut off the lights. What do? Sleep with the lights on all day and all night and run up the light bill. And then the next thing you know, you have one gargantuan light bill that you can't pay. I mean, seriously. You're just upset because I got the best of you. I outmaneuvered you without barely lifting a finger. Now, I do admit I don't own you. No, nobody's owned. Nobody has ownership over anybody. I would consider myself winning the battle, but not the war. There you go. That would be more of a clear expression, don't you think? More of a clear way of putting it, as layman's terms would be. And I don't mean to be harsh. I don't mean to hurt. I don't mean to hurt people's feelers. But you know, there comes a time when somebody, it's like, I'm going to give you an example. It's like you're drinking at a bar, right? You're drinking at a bar, enjoying your drink, and then someone comes up to you and socks you in the face. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and take it? You're going to sit there and say, oh, gee, can you do that again? That was fun. No. You're going to react. You are going to react. And you're going to react in a way that they don't expect. But here's the funny part. Here's the joke. Imagine one day when someone comes in to sock you, you dodge it, and then you walk away without even saying a word, without even saying one single syllable. Just walk away. You know, I've seen a lot of sick shit on YouTube. I've seen a lot of sick things on YouTube. But am I going to discuss them? No, I'm not. Because it's not my business, it's not my say, and it's not my fight. My fight is right here. My business is right here. And even though we're small, we're a small business right now, but we're slowly growing, right? Because I'm not giving up. And I know a lot of you out there don't give up as well. That's why we keep fighting, right? That's why we keep going, right? That's why we keep the hamster wheel turning. Until one day, someone decides, you know, I'm awful tired of this. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to just go silent. Now, guess what? You know what happens when people go silent? You see, silence makes you dangerous. Silent makes you the most dangerous person on the face of this earth. Because in silence, you're unpredictable, immovable, and unstoppable. You see, here in my world, I'm unchained. I'm unfiltered. I am basically, I'm not held down by simple rules, simple regulations. No. I merely make up my own as I go. It's not my fault that people get in their fifis or get in their feelers or even get a little butthurt. You know, it happens. All I can say is one thing. You can't troll a troller. Can't scam a scammer. Can't scheme a schemer. And I know about schemers. I've seen them. I've heard them. I've seen their pathetic little cries that they do online for attention. And I've also seen them build up empires, and I've seen them knock them down, all in one shot. But you know what I find the definition of craziness? The definition of insanity. Building your empire and then single-handedly smashing it all down to pieces, only just to build it up again. Now that, to me, is the definition of insanity. And even to a guy like me, that's just cold. But then again, you guys ought to know, you guys come into the chat, I just give you what you want, which is entertainment. You see, I can be a tolerable type of guy. Maybe. Just depends on what type of mood I'm in. How I feel that day. Because you see, my life is very, should I say, intricate. It's very unpredictable. Very immovable. Some people call it strange. I call it delusion in itself. But guess what? The world that I come from is far more different than the world you will ever know. That's the beauty of it, right? That's the interest of it. To boldly go where no man has gone before, right? To boldly do what nobody's done before. To push that outer limit until you're almost at the breaking point. But here's what it is. You see, a lot of people out there, you see, you see, right there is a prime example of unpredictability. You don't know what's going to be happening in life. That's what makes it so grand. That's what makes it so beautiful. That's what makes it so chaotic. Because we can make it any way we want. And trust me, it isn't hard. It's not. It's actually easy. You can make your life dark and decadent and destructive. Or you can make your life positive and chipper and conservative. It depends on what you do with it. Remember, I don't know if I've said this before, but remember when I used to watch Chucky movies. And I'm going to do you a little quote. Chucky used to say this. It ain't the size that counts, asshole. It's what you do with it. Now that, my friends, is a true statement to the point. Think about what I just said. It's not the size It's how you use it. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in for just a minute or two. Do you know what that statement means? It's not the size, it's how you use it. You know what that statement meant? I'm going to tell you what that meant. It meant simple. It doesn't matter how tall, how small, or how much money you have in your pocket. It doesn't matter how many connections you have. What matters is you use what you've got. Utilize what you have and you build from it. You can take literally, and it even says so in the Bible. It even says so in the Bible, because yes, I've read the Bible once. Trust me. I have. Most of us have. I said most of us. I didn't say all of us. I said most of us. I know I have. Unfortunately, I had to. Because yes, I did get sent to boarding school, and it sucked. Because I had to sit there and listen to them preach and preach and preach and preach and preach until my ears literally bled. It sucked. But did I learn a little something? Yes, I did. So they actually succeeded. See, like I said, it doesn't matter how much money, it doesn't matter how much prestige, it doesn't matter how many subs, how many views, how much attention you can bring to yourself. No, it doesn't. It's not. Even if you'd like for it to be. You see, you can have even a penny in your pocket and still learn to turn a crowd. Still learn to make people smile. Still learn to brighten people's day every single day. You don't need money to tell you that. You don't need attention to tell you that. What you need is good old-fashioned intestinal fortitude, which is a very rare thing when you think about it. Because not that many people are willing to go the extra mile. Not that many people are willing to go the extra length to make people happy, to make themselves happy. Because let me tell you, if you're not happy with yourself, then you're not happy with the rest of the world either. Because you have to be happy with yourself before you can be happy with other people. You have to be positive with yourself before you can be positive with other people. Because if you are miserable with yourself, then I'm sorry, you've lost the game. You've lost everything. And you've gained nothing. But remember, it's not about money. It's about sending a message. And we all do it quite well. Some of us better than others. But I got to admit, there's one thing that I crave in this world more than anything else, and that is purity. Purity in its finest form. You know what that means? That means somebody being true to themselves. Being the true person who you really are. Show the world who you really are. By telling the truth. By being about it instead of talking about it. By getting the balls to actually stick up, buck up, and say, look, I am who I am. And that's it. And that's all you have to do.